Hello everyone. So today I've asked the question, what are your spirit animal guides? We have animal guides sometimes, and you know, sometimes you know it, you feel it, or maybe you have dreams about it, you sense it, you're drawn to particular animals. And sometimes we have specific ones assigned to us. Some people in have totems and different things like that. Different cultures, like Native American culture, they do value certain types of animals. Other animals can be considered warnings, like owls can be considered death by some Native American tribes. So I don't know if all of them are that way. I'm not as informed on a lot of it as I wish I could be, but I love to learn. So what we're going to do today is I've pulled 3 cards from my mythological beast deck. And I pulled 2 oracles, and I'm just going to kind of go over it and see what I get for those of you that are watching today. So for those that tapping in, I'm picking up 3 things here. You have the 5 of Wands, the Sun, and Justice. These might be part of it, but the important thing is to pick out what is it that you have as animals. So we're going to start with the 5 of Wands. So first let me say, please take what resonates and leave the rest. So with the 5 of Wands, we have this mythological creature. It's obviously a winged creature that's in a nest, but it looks like a wise old man, but he's got a plume of feathers and wings. I'm not saying you have something weird like that. If you're into mythological creatures, you might. I've lost the book on this. I don't quite have the information here that I need for this 5 of Wands. I thought I had it, but I don't think that I kept it. I don't know. Is this it? Nope. That's something else. Okay. It's funny. I usually keep the boxes, so I don't know what it was. I've had a lot of my stuff kind of... I've tried to organize and clean up, and I've put some of it away just in a bag in order to take it out of the way if we had a tornado warning. So now I'm like, all my stuff's kind of mixed up everywhere. So apologies. But what I'm seeing here with the 5 of Wands is definitely that some of you may have a mythological creature. I wouldn't know exactly. I don't know all of them. Sometimes I can give you an idea, and sometimes I would say these might just be regular everyday animals. I don't know about you, but I'm sensing birds. Now this could be all birds for some of you, or certain types of birds. I tend to have, it tends to be all birds, but some birds stand out more significantly for me personally. Like for me, it's extremely rare, but it's very spiritual for me to see a hummingbird. It doesn't have to be in the flesh, but sometimes I'll see an image of a hummingbird or a picture, but it means something to me. I also love doves. Doves are the messengers of God. Doves represent like purity, innocence, those kind of things. They're very heavenly if you want to look at it that way. But I always love the doves and their cooing. They just seems like so much love and peace with those animals. Cardinals represent people who have loved ones that have passed on. When you get a cardinal, supposedly that's a visit from a loved one. They're sending you a sign. I think that there's some just beautiful, majestic. I mean, eagles represent, obviously, they're like a representative of America. Strong, patriotic kind of meaning, leadership. They're a very strong animal. They're predators, which I don't know if I want to be considered that, but they're very majestic. But it depends on what you see. Like I see different birds and things, and I have different connections with different types of animals. So this creature's in a nest, and so looking at it, and I can look at it a little bit closer if you want to see. Let's see. It looks like there's something on the ground. I see something in the ground here, and this could be somebody's initials. It could be the initials of the person who created the images here. But that's not what I first saw. So I want to go with what my intuition picked up, is that I saw a lizard. Now, lizards kind of represent fire, wands, those kind of things. You could be a fire sign. But lizards have their own kind of meanings. I don't remember exactly what lizards stand for, but they like the heat. But if you have a lizard, You know, you might dream about lizards, you might see lizards, you might love lizards. You could own one for all I know. And it may not be just a lizard, it could be any type of reptile. So you could be into the warm-blooded, you know, likes to lay out and sun themselves in the heat kind of lizards, the Komodo dragons, you know, the snakes, things like that. So I could see that you enjoy that. So I could see a lizard down there. But I'm also getting that the wings flapping just reminds me of birds. And being that they're in a tree in a nest, I'm going to say they're high up. This could be an eagle for some of you. These could be your animal companions. The Five of Wands tell me that they're with you all the time, but I think that if they start to show up, you start to sense them, feel them, dream about them, or see signs of them. You could be going through stressful times in your life. These are times of change. These are times when you feel challenged in your life in certain aspects of it. When you have obstacles that you're overcoming, things like that. I would say this is when you start to see them and feel them. But they are there whenever you are stretched thin, when you are stressed. That's when you're going to see these birds, whichever bird that it happens to be. I see a bell hanging down. You know, I'm getting that maybe some of you really love birds enough that you have pets. You could have parrots, parakeets, a cockatiel. I don't know how you say that. Cockatoo? I've even seen, like, somebody lost their pheasant around the city here, and then they found another one, and like, wow, how did you find two? They only own one, so that means another one is somewhere, you know, missing its owners. But pheasants, I mean, these can be any type of birds. Birds that fly, birds that don't fly, birds that nest. You know, they could have some kind of special meaning to you, and only you. And you will get it. You will know. You'll be like, okay, you're talking about my bird. Just because my bird might be a hummingbird doesn't mean yours is. So please just be open-minded with it and realize that it's a nesting type of bird. And this comes down means you might have some birds that you have, you may have some birds that don't fly that might be caged. You know, you may take care of birds or something. It may be part of your life path to care for wild birds or predator birds. And so you may be a part of their training and care. Maybe you heal them and get them back out in the wild, or maybe you have to give them a home if they're unable to survive in the wild. So there's a lot with this card, a lot. And I see that. So definitely a time for you guys with the winged animals. I'm hoping it's not like bugs. I'm not a fan of bugs, but if you like bugs, there are people who do, and you like ones that have wings on them. And dragonflies tend to be a representative of transformation as well. So if you like dragonflies, they're considered more, you know, a bug rather than, you know, an actual animal. So there's differences, but I'm going to include them only because I do feel like butterflies are a huge transformational symbol as well. And when you see butterflies, I mean, they're so light and airy on the wind, they can represent a lot of things. I had to take a drink of water there. So we have the sun. I love this. The sun is definitely representative of fire signs. For sure. The Leo. And Leo the lion is here, but we have what looks like I want to say Gryffindor, and I know that's not. A Griffon? Griffin? Okay. Forgive me if I don't remember, but you know, the Griffin is like it's like the lion with the wings. This might be something related to it. I'm not going to be exact, because no doubt there are many stories of something very similar with different names. But I would say that you guys definitely have a lion. You have the big cats. Definitely. Big cats, for sure. And I like that you have these big wings on them. So again, I'm really getting things that fly. You guys have birds or you have, like, cats. And it seems to be kind of a repeating pattern through this. Except for this last one. But it kind of goes from, like, a bird to a cat bird to a cat. So does that make sense? But this animal is with you in times of strength, and the sun is a very happy card. They're with you all the time, but you're not always going to see or hear them or notice or feel them. It's like you're going to feel them at certain times, especially meditative, and that's what I'm going with here. They're meditative. Sometimes when I meditate, I do have a spirit animal that I have seen. If you do any kind of like shamanic meditation or like drums, it could be drums or it can be like a rattle, those type of things. You would be surprised at what it brings out in meditation. But if you do that, sometimes it brings forth, images and feelings. I actually had the sensation while I was sitting here doing a meditation that I had a dire wolf. I call it a dire wolf. It was huge because when it was sitting down, like it's sitting like a dog sits. It was still up to my head with me sitting in the chair, and it was pure white, and its fur is very clean and very soft. And so I was able to pet this thing while I was in meditation. It was very brief, and I'm like, did I really just have that happen? And I thought, that's pretty cool. I just trusted in that. And it's funny because later on I asked, this dog has come around a few times in life. So when I do my meditations is usually, if I do those types of meditations, that's when I will get the dire wolf. I named it Snow. I'm assuming it's a him. I don't want to make an assumption, but it's a beautiful spirit dog, or I say dog, but it's like a wolf. It's like a dire wolf. It's huge. It would be intimidating. If you saw it in person, you'd probably fear for your life. But it's like a gentle giant. And this particular animal is very protective of me, watches over me, just as a loyal dog would. And I feel like the same thing goes with you and these big cats. If you have a lion, the lion is the king of the jungle. The lion, it's a lot of pride. The lion takes care of its family. It's very protective. So, you're included in that. And it's like the sun is a very happy card. So things are going well for you right now. It's a happy time. You may not know, but the lions are around you and they're fine. They're at peace right now because they don't have to worry about much. You're doing so well, but if you ever feel like you're in danger, just know that they are around and they are protective. I don't know what the limitations are, from reality. Like if somebody were to try to back you into a corner, would this thing come out of nowhere and get them? I don't know. I've heard of stories of either, animals or even angels appearing not to where the person they were protecting could see them, but intimidating anyone who would come after them. I don't remember the story, but vaguely just recall that someone felt I think it was a young woman feeling very, very alone. She kind of had there were several guys watching her, and I think they might have been planning a not so nice scenario for her, but they didn't come near her, and she was able to get safely back to her vehicle or home or wherever she was going at night, because I think they had seen something. I guess somebody had seen what was about to go down, and said, oh, well, they didn't bother you because you had, an entourage. She had four very tall people around her that were intimidating and keeping everybody at bay. And I think that those might have been angels. So if angels can do it, animals can do it too. I'm sure you could find stories out there of some animal showing up to scare off somebody to protect one of us. So it happens. Okay, and lastly, we have the Justice card. We're back to cats. These could be big cats, but they seem like they're more domesticated. These cats seem like they're angry, but I feel like in times of injustice in your life, justice also means karma. So when things are balancing out in life, whether it's for you or against you, I feel like that's when those of you that have these smaller cats, they're here with you. They protect you. But they're kind of here to help you through the times when you need them, when life seems off balance, when it seems like your world's been flipped upside down. That's when these animals come to protect you, to comfort you. They are companions. You know how they say that having a dog or a cat lowers our blood pressure, and having them nearby. And I think the same thing is, even if we're not fully aware that we have a spirit animals around us, it helps us stay calm and feel safe, and helps us weather those storms that come about in life. So I feel like this is going on here too. And it's very blue. It's very dark, but it's almost purple. So I feel like there's a lot of intuition here. The people that have these cats in the Justice card, I feel like you're very intuitive and you can see them or feel them, you just know at times when they're there in your life. You might get that sensation, but it shouldn't be a scary thing to you. It should be more like, oh, okay, like I have animals around me that love me and protect me and keep me safe, and they're here for my, they're here to just be my support. They're here to encourage you, to help you get through everything. So I see that being a dark blue is like indigo. I want to say that it could be like third eye, like you might get a lot of images of them. You may see signs of them as well everywhere you go. And there's 2 here, which makes me feel like you may see more than one. You may have like a family of them protecting you, but you've definitely seen them. They've got a ball of light here, and I feel like you've seen their ball of light as well. They might appear as little balls of light around you, or if you see it like out of your peripheral vision, you might see like an orb or something, like a orb of light, and that could be them. So if you think you see something or you catch something in your photos or your videos, I mean, this could be them hanging around you. And who knows, but just as we have angels, we do have animals that hang around us. But just trust your intuition, what you're seeing, and just know they're there, and they're there for a reason, and it's for you. They are for you, not against you, so nothing to fear. And that's what I really love about that, because I feel like, they come around in times. I think this is very intuitive, so this is part of your psychic life. They may be there to help you through those phases that you go through whenever you see things in your third eye, your ajna, whatever you wish to call it, or in your crown even. The crown is more like, it could be white, it could be purple, but if you look at this, it's just like when you're starting to sense things in your clairs, that's what they're there for. And the same can go like with the sun. We've got our fire people over here with the lion. And see, I see a lot of beautiful oranges and some yellows. So you guys tend to trust your gut instinct about things. But your sacral is, the sacral chakra tends to be orange. And so you have a lot of passion and a lot of creativity. And I think that they are there in times of creativity. In the good times of your life, they are like, act like a muse for you. Those animals can be there for you to help spur you on in a way. And so same thing here on the 5 of Wands. I'll go back and look at this one. These birds help you in a lot of ways. And see, they talk a lot. You have birds that talk to you. They'll sing to you. And I love it. They'll sing to you with their little bird voices, with the blue as being the throat chakra. I think that you probably talk to the birds. I don't feel bad either, because I wave at animals and talk to them, and they don't always talk back. But I will tell you before I get to your oracle cards, the other night, we put down sticky traps just because there had been like earwigs and beetles and stuff. A couple were put down, and they're small sticky traps. I don't agree with them. I think they can be inhumane. I mean, I don't like the bugs more, but so I had a family member put some down, and as it turned out, I went into the restroom the other night, and I looked over and I'm like, oh my gosh, there was a little mouse that had gotten stuck to the sticky trap, and he was struggling. He was so weak and tired, and I felt so bad. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't have the heart to throw him away. I know mice can be pests, but, we encroached. We're taking over all of their wildlands, and we're building all these houses and neighborhoods and businesses. And I mean, what are we going to do? Like, I wish we had a place where they could go and they could just have plenty of food in their own little ecosystem, but things happen. And I didn't have the heart to kill it, or to be the one that made that decision. So I put on some gloves, and I got some olive oil, and I freed him. And I put him in a little bucket, and it had been storming, and it had finally stopped raining. So it was like perfect. I couldn't take him far away, unfortunately. Not that night, because we had horrible flooding. So I thought the only thing I can do is take him to the front flower bed. It was wet and soft in there, but there was lots of coverage because of the plants and things, and the flowers, lots of leaves that they could hide under, that hide from predators. So I let him go in there. He was weak, and he wandered off really slowly, and I wished him the best. And the funny thing is, the other night I was sitting in here and on a meetup. I was in a Zoom call, and I saw something in the other corner of my eye. I looked over, and this little mouse had come, I'm in the garage, in a garage room that's built into the garage anyway. So he had come under the door and he came in and he stopped just off on the rug over here and he sat up like a dog begging for treats. This mouse sat up on its haunches with its little arms in the air and he cocked his little head to the side and he looked straight at me and I looked at him and we just had a moment and I literally felt him say thank you for saving his life. I was like, is that the mouse? Because we hadn't had any mice around in a while. I figured the flooding waters probably from the night before had pushed him in. But yeah, he literally said thank you. And then the little mouse, he left. I saw him. He said thank you to me, and then he went crawling back, and I watched him go back out in the garage. He left. He didn't stay in here. He didn't try to look for food. He didn't try to do anything, and he hasn't been back since. And I thought, I just got thanked by an animal for saving its life. I mean, they are sentient beings. Mice and rats, people are like gross, but at the same time, they're smart. That's why they're used as lab rats, literally. That's why they do all these horrible experiments on mice and rats. I mean, they're a dime a dozen, so I guess it's not. I feel bad for them, but if they're treated well, you know, for the most part, that's fine. I just hate that they get killed, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's better than them testing on dogs, which you know that they have done, and they probably still do in some parts, but I'll get off my soapbox. Anyway, here's your 2 oracle cards. So I asked for like advice. I literally put advice and guidance together. Did you see that? Okay. Advice or guidance, or advidence, if you will, from your spirit animals. What would they say? You know? And so here we go. We have pleasure. I believe it's a pleasure to serve you. This is a spiritual bond, and they like you. They protect you. You may not know that they're there, but they have a mission, and they're sticking to it. But for them, you know, it's completely transformative. And I don't know why animals are paired together the way they are, like with humans. I don't know how this works. But if they are a guide, much like an angel or a spirit guide or something, or maybe like ancestors, I don't know. Animals have some strong symbolism. They have meaning. It means something to them and to you to work together. So with that being said, though, this is number 18, pleasure. And I see butterflies in here, so if somebody sees butterflies. I just saw a huge one that almost flew into my face the other day. It was a big black one with like maybe some orange or yellow on it. I don't know. It was beautiful. It wasn't a monarch, but I don't know what it was. But I see that they're transformative, and their advice to you is like, you know, let the changes in your life happen. They'll be here for you during those changes, and trust in your intuition. And you trust that this bond is meant to be and it works, and that they are here to help you. Let's see, 18. Isn't 18 the moon? Did I say that right? No, I didn't. It's not, is it? No, it is no, wait, you're right. It is. 19 is the sun. Hello. So it's funny because we go star, moon, sun in the tarot. So 18, if I want to keep it as 18, it would be the moon, which for me, you know, that talks about the things unknown to you, which if you don't know that you have these animals around you, well, now you do. So this is your confirmation. You're not crazy if you've had dreams about it, if you've seen it, felt it in any kind of psychic sense. So the moon tells you to trust your intuition. The moon card usually has dogs on it too. You just notice, like, it has a dog and a wolf. It's kind of like the domesticated side and the wild side of people. They can be representative of both. So, and you may have some type of dog like I do as a spirit guide, a dog or a wolf or something in the canine territory there. If I want to reduce 18, that reduces to 9, which is the hermit, which is telling you to go within, find that knowledge within. You will realize that there is something more going on if you look within. Okay, with that being said, I pulled 2, and here's your other card. It's number 23, gratitude. Yeah. This is for both of you. Trust in that intuition and that bond with your animal guide, and know they have much gratitude for you, and You know, these are beautiful beings that love you and care for you. They protect you. They see you through the rough times in life, and they have gratitude for you, and I hope that you will have gratitude for them. Whether you can see them or hear them or even feel them, whether you know or not. This is one thing where you just trust in your intuition again with the moon and just say, you know, like, I am grateful for you. Thank you for your help. That's all you have to do. 23 reduces to 5, and 5 is about those challenges in life, those changes, those obstacles. It can be conflicts. They are there for you during all of the rough spots. So trust in that. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, guys.